You find a quiet space. And a quiet space doesn't mean no noise around you. A quiet space has to do with more of a quiet mind. So you can have the dog barking in the background. You can have, the cat pawing at the door like I do right now. There can be lots of extracurricular things happening. Just try to get settled for a second. You're worth the 10 minutes, 15, 20. Typically, I run my classes at a 45-minute interval, and that's because really our brain doesn't pay attention to longer than 45 minutes. Well, it's 47, but you get the point. So we're just settling in, recognizing that we're going to get quiet inside. Maybe at this point you're closing your eyes. Maybe not. Maybe it's more comfortable to have them open. There's something called a drishti gaze, which you're almost staring off into space, but it's getting a little fuzzy. And that's because you're not paying attention to exactly what's in front of you, but you start to almost see in between the space. Well, we've got this mindset of settling in and a mind space of knowing that we're worth it. Let's add on one additional to breathe. And the inhale seems to be something we remember, but to exhale, that's the science. That's the secret sauce. The when, how, why, how long, whether to or not, passive, active. We'll do a tiny bit of retention breathing. We'll just let this breath be through the nose if you can, if you've stopped up or have a gazillion other reasons why it can't be through your nose, then okay. We'll just take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Now I'm going to start to count. I want you to inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little different. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want you to hold your breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Exhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want you to hold your breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fill the lungs. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. And exhale. Now continue to breathe. If you found that difficult, or you were really having a hard time holding the breath, not only outside the body, but inside the body, consider there's a lot of things that it could be why. If we're constantly using our sympathetic nervous system, holding the breath inside the body at the top might be relatively easy, right? But then you allow the breath to come out, 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 and then that guy at the bottom might be rather difficult to hold it outside. And then the inhale might be almost like a gasp of air. That's where most of us live. Now, obviously, you can have infection and doctors have you, like there's all of that kind of stuff. But in general, our lungs are something that we have to work with. They're almost muscular, right? They need to be utilized. They need to expand, inflate, and deflate. And all the different lobes have their own purpose. Some of them clean, filter, hold, pressurize, right? They have their own reason for being there. So being gentle with ourselves, quieting the mind, recognizing that we're worth it, and breathing, both inhale and the exhale. Now I'm sitting on my heels right now. If you're sitting on your heels, go ahead and send your legs out in front of you. If you already got your legs out in front, great. Sitting up super straight and tall, roll the shoulders down and back. Then I want you to give yourself a little lean back. It is not big. So most of the time when we're not accustomed to sitting up straight, we're going to take our shoulders forward, which actually lets the lowest of lower belly disengage, okay? It makes it be more about the hip flexors. So I want you to lean back a smidge and notice how the gate, or the lowest of lower abs, or the transverse abdominis, start to close up. And as we have the small lean back, holding the gate closed, lower the shoulders down away from the ears, and inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. If you notice your shoulders starting to lift up, I want you to press them back down. Leaving my right leg is in front. I'm going to keep it there. shift the weight over into the right, and if you have the ability, send the left leg behind you. Now you can stay on your right hip. Totally cool with that. It does not have to be a full pigeon. Allowing the left leg to go back behind you. A lot of us, this is going to be our mobility, and that's fine. My right leg comes up quite high. You can have your right leg in a little closer to the body, anywhere you need to. We are going to start moving over to the left. Your left butt cheek might start to be on fire. Pull the lowest of lower abs in. My right hand here, the one that's on the ground, I would call that my driver. I have a couple that I need to make that Kate-ism. That's one I haven't made yet. My driver's the right hand. I'm going to use that driver to press up into a pigeon. Both arms in front, left leg is behind you. Now our head wants to be up and down. Guys, we do this a good chunk of the day. We round, or we do this like cockeyed thing without our chest out. Our shoulders are rolled forward. I want you to reverse this. Look slightly down and think about pressing your shoulders back. Alignment of the neck. So it's not that my chin is totally tucked, right, where I'm going to make weird noises. The idea is that I've pulled it down. Eyeballs are coming directly out of the head. My eye gaze is at the top of the mat. Hello, right hip. Right? I get it. Maybe press the left hip down to the mat just a smidge, just to kind of see where square is, and then maybe the right hip back down towards the mat. So kind of jostling back and forth. Now, some of you might be up here, hands to the mat. Some of you guys might have your arms all the way down, forehead to the mat. It is all good. Some might have not even have made it to where the left hip's down. You still have your driver down, right hand. That's okay. These are all perfect. Now, those of you that had your chest all the way down, arms out in front of you, roll back to your right hip, please. Take your right shin forward. Use your driver and roll back on top. I want you to find a new space here. We're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Check the alignment of your head. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Press the forearms down. Long neck. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Right where we came from, lower down to the right hip. If you have the mobility, lift the left leg up and just send it in front of the right. Crisscross applesauce. Left leg is in front this time, or whatever the opposite one that you had last. Maybe check it out, lean forward. Notice that if you're sitting up straight, that's actually more comfortable, right? Letting the hip flexors take over. I want you to give yourself a lean back. You're going to lean back till you feel the abs catch. I'm not talking about these six-pack up top that, believe me, mine do not look like a six-pack. But those are kind of the easier muscles to come in contact with. I'm going to go deep and low. Deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, let the lungs expand. And exhale. Leave the left leg, which is the one in front, up top. The right leg is going to go behind you. Now, I automatically came on my forearm. My right leg is not straight to any stretch of the imagination. It's okay. If you're able to come up onto your left hand, go for it. Left hand would be your driver. Your right butt cheek, top of the butt, is going to start being on fire, right? You're asking it to engage in a way that maybe you don't do every day. I'm going to guess most of us don't. Just let it hang out there. 15, 20 minutes, 45 in a day is not too much to give yourself to become centered. You are worth it. And we breathe. Use your driver. Slowly press yourself up on top of the left leg. Now, once again, you might not have made it all the way. That's okay. I'm balancing on my right tippy toes right now, really kind of making sure I'm safe before I let go of my left hand. I'm going to flip to the top of my foot. All right, look what I'm doing with my head, right? I'm automatically wanting my brain, inside my brain wants to go up and down, wants to make sure that I am vertical. So I'm going to give myself permission for my neck to be in line with the spine. And then just play around a little bit. Maybe the right hip comes down to the mat a smidge more, or maybe the left hip needs to lower down. Guys, finding the middle for you, if you're an internally rotated person, probably going to take the left hip down. If you're externally rotated, the right hip needs to come down. Long neck, and if you had your hands down on the other side, try to even it out. Make sure the hands down are here. If you went all the way down on the other side, please make sure you're going all the way down on this side. All right, those of you, if you only made it to this far, right, I want you to try to push yourself up. Those that got their arms all the way long, I want you to roll onto the left hip. Take your right hand, lift the left shin forward. This is not from your knee. This is from the ball and socket of your joint. And use your driver to press yourself back on top. Now, this is my crepito leg. Okay, total made up word. Sorry. If my left hip is super tight, I've got to keep my driver left hand pressing down to push my right hip on top of the left heel. Check my alignment, and we breathe. We take an inhale, and exhale. None of this lasts forever. This is a few moments in time, giving an opportunity for our fight or flight to have a break. Gently roll back to the left hip, and then right leg in front, back to crisscross applesauce, and give yourself a little lean back. Breathe, inhale, and exhale. One more time, inhale. Hands behind you, both legs straight out in front. Now, not everybody is going to be able to get their legs perfectly straight with your heels down, toes to the sky. That's okay. If you can't, bend your knees. Totally fine. Hamstrings actually longer when you have your knees bent. All good. Bend your knees so much that your chest and your thighs come together. Grab at your toes. Now, this might be it. Right? I like to grab my entire foot. Some super yogis that I am not one like to make little pointer finger worms around your toes. Yep, I'm a child. I take my whole foot because I had a broken toe, and I am working on making sure everything stays in the same plane. Really pull the chest to the thighs. I do like to call this an Oreo cookie. If you're going further, You can try to send lower butt behind you. Kind of work the fleshy parts out. Keep the chest to thigh connection. Now look what's happening with my head. I'm automatically crinking at the back of the neck and thinking about my head going up and down. It is okay. The more I send my butt behind me, the more I should allow my neck to stay in line with the spine. Can't tell you how many neck injuries, any of the C's, I have been privy to seeing both the incarnation and the resurrection of the neck. Lots of neck work these days. If you've got it in you to press your heels out maybe a smidge more, keeping the Oreo cookie, you might feel this through the calves, you might feel it through your hamstrings, you might feel it all the way into a pull of your lower back. You might even feel it underneath your underarms into the triceps. Squeeze the lowest of lower belly in. If you don't have that in, you're asking your lower back to do a lot of work that it is not its job. Slowly let the chest come up, roll down, press your heels down, articulate one at a time, slow and steady. Hands flat to the mat, bend both knees, find your happy place. Call a happy place any place that you feel at peace. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 45. Centering, you are worth it. And we breathe. Inhale and exhale. If your mind starts to wander, just bring it back in. Listen to my voice. All that stuff is totally there for you when you are done. I promise. These few moments that we take for ourselves are really not for ourselves. It is for everyone else. And it's not selfish. Someone else to give up this time. We would respect it and say, yeah, get back to me after you're done. Why do we not do that for ourselves? Keeping your feet right where they are, so I don't want you to move your legs together or anything of the sort. Roll, pull the lower belly in. Remember, you're protecting the lower back. Roll to the outside of your right foot, inside of your left. Gently lower the knees down to the right. Now, if you can, keep both shoulders down on the ground. My left knee does not touch the ground. My right knee barely touches the ground. Feeling a really good stretch through the top quarter. This is called your tensor fascia latae, right? So maybe you're feeling it from your left shoulder down to your right knee, but the internal rotation of the right knee right hip is not from the knee. That's why you're getting a stretch on the top of the hip. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Take this a little bit further. Left hand out to the left. and then look over your left shoulder. You might notice your knees come down a little further. Maybe they don't. It's okay. Just let the water brush all over you. Gently pull the lowest of lower belly in, pull the left arm and knees come back up, and then ground it again. Happy place. Nowhere to go. It's all there. Pull the lowest of lower belly in, gently lower the knees over to the left. Maybe roll into the outside of the left foot, inside of the right. Both shoulders stay down, your eye gaze is up to the sky. You can even lift your head up. Make sure you don't have too much weight in the back side of the head. You notice we start to use it as a balancing point. Don't do that. It'll give you a headache, and we want our body to take the bulk. Maybe you took it that one step further, extend the right arm out to the right, and then take your eye gaze over to the right. Arm, head, weight, just all over to the right. You notice for me, all the different surgeries and stuff, I get a pinched nerve, lower left hip on this side. I'm going to the right. Cross section of my body kind of tweaks a little bit, and I just have to send my mind's eye to that spot and just tell it to relax. It's safe. Being kind. Deep inhale. And exhale. Pull the lowest of lower belly in, lift the knees back up to the center, and then find your happy place again. Mine typically is my hands on my chest. My hips are neutral. Check the weight on the top of the back of my head. Maybe you have a couple moments to stay here, to allow yourself the time to get centered, because you're worth it. And breathe. Both the inhale and the exhale. It is my honor and my privilege to take you through a small meditation today, taking the palms together in prayer position. Thumbs come to in between the eyebrows. The thumbs come to the lips, and the thumbs go to the heart. And we nod together saying, Namaste.